Heat 3 of the Graham Trucking Cup is brought to you by the Hyundai Genesis and is presented for Seafair by Graham Trucking, specializing in heavy intermodal container drayage throughout Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana.
Terry Rinker winning the first heat. Chris Fairchild is second. They wave the flag and they're underway and they explode away from the dock. And as they accelerate away, as they fight their way down 2,400 yards, and they will work their way down into the far turn number 5, and they pan out now, asking them to maintain their lanes as they come down toward turn number 5. Side by side, it looks like it's one of the Rinker boats making a move, but sliding to the outside and pushing hard. Side by side as they fight their way out of turn number 6, and they rocket down the front straightaway, close to 125 miles an hour. And Tim Siebold is out in first place on a great start as he worked his way around Rob Rinker. And it looks like Jose Madonna Jr., the driver out of Miami, in that third place. There is the rookie driver out of Tampa, Florida. Here is the man that is chasing that number 1 spot, looking for his 6th championship title. He's got 5 on his career. And Tim Siebold knows he's going to have to take it up just a little bit more, Chip. He's got to move the intensity level up a little higher. And Tim Siebold's got to be pleased. He's in that number 1 spot.
He's in the number 1 spot, but he's only 1 spot ahead of Terry Rinker, so it's not going to buy him a whole lot of points for that national championship.
Actually, as we watch them come through, that's his son Rob in the second place. But look at Robbie pushing as hard as he can. This young, aggressive 25-year-old out of Tampa trying to take the lead, and he has, as he has worked his way past Tim Siebold, and the rookies got the lead. And Chris Fairchild now moved into third place ahead of Jose Madonna Jr. out of Miami, Florida, with Lynn Simberger back in the 5th position. But Tim Siebold fighting desperately to get into that number 1 spot. Remember, each heat race they get points, and Tim Siebold knows that if he's going to win a championship, he's going to have almost a perfect weekend. So far, it hasn't panned out for him.
You know, somebody we haven't heard a lot from was last year's winner, and that's Greg Foster. Greg, I think, is in 4th now. There, I think you see Greg kind of on the outside there. Last year, he ran away with the final heat, but so far there hasn't been much from him. But he's in 4th now with a great race for 1st.
Yeah, that's his teammate, Tim Siebold, in that position as he tries to slide up. That Siebold is trying to close back up. He was leading for a while. He's drifted back. He's back in the 3rd spot. As they fight their way around, it's Chris Fairchild leading. Now, he was given that number 1 spot at the very last lap of that second heat after we had a chance to see the driver Brian Benton blow over in spectacular fashion on the final lap. But here is Siebold now getting more aggressive. He slid back into that number 2 position. So the man out of Fenton, Missouri is fighting hard, and you can see him here with Rob Rinker in the 2nd spot. Look at the rookie fighting now for that number 1 spot. He lost it a lap ago. He's trying to get it back. The excitement level's really heating up here in the final few laps.
Fairchild is really doing a great job. He's been out in front and falls back to 3rd, sometimes 4th, but right now he's back out in 1st. But he's getting a lot of pressure there, Steve.
It's amazing that Chris Fairchild even is out there this afternoon. He took a tremendous blow over yesterday in a 5-lap race, and he damaged the right rear sponson. But that boat being carbon fiber, they spent all night drying it, building it up, getting it back into shape, and they got the boat running. If it had been a wooden boat, it would have been totally destroyed back in the old days, meaning in the 1980s and early 1990s.
But he's got his mirrors full of 2 yellow boats, which means the Rinker family is all over him.
And they are pushing hard, and they're aggressive. Terry Rinker, as you look at Chris Fairchild, being gobbled up now. Terry Rinker getting a little bit closer, but his son Robbie right with him side by side. And behind them is Tim Siebold. Exciting stuff. 4 different boats fighting here these final few moments of this race in heat number 3.
What do you think? Son and father, do they both want it badly, or their team orders? Sometimes, like in Formula 1 car racing, you know, there's a number 1 and a number 2. Are these guys free to race?
I'll tell you something. Rob Rinker is young. He's very aggressive. He's a rookie. And he got slapped yesterday by the officials, and they warned him. They suspended him and said, listen, we'll give you a yellow card, but if you do it again, they may start making him miss races because of his aggressive driving. As you can see, his father on the right, side by side. Oh, Chris Fairchild barely hanging on, going through there at 120 miles an hour as they skid around the corner, and now they come down toward the start-finish line.
I tell you what, Fairchild's got his hands full with many-time world champion Tim Seafair. That was it. Fairchild pulls it off, but boy, he had mirrors full of the whole Rinker family and Tim Seafair.
Chris Fairchild has now won 2 of the 3 races so far today. Let's see if the momentum carries him off into that 4th heat.
And so here are the results of Heat 3 in the Graham Trucking Cup. Once again, it's Chris Fairchild, your winner.
Heat 3 of the Graham Trucking Cup is brought to you by the Hyundai Genesis and is presented for Seafair by Graham Trucking, specializing in heavy intermodal container drayage throughout Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana.
Tour is Rob Graham from Graham Trucking. Rob?
Thank you, sir. So this is kind of a treat because this is a really nice man. So I'm glad he's winning. So it's my job to present the trophy to Chris Fairchild. Great job.
Chris, congratulations. Words?
Thank you. I don't know. I can't thank Graham Trucking enough. Without them, Formula One boats wouldn't be here in Seattle. Seattle is an awesome place to race, and Graham Trucking is an awesome company to have behind you, helping you get here. I got to thank all my sponsors, my crew. We had a rough weekend. They put stuff back together so we could have this day today. Thanks.
All right. Chris Fairchild, winner, Heat 3. Congratulations, sir.